Hello, sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. We are talking about one super popular topic, and that is what's the deal? What's the truth about doing free shipping as a seller? You know, one person says one thing, another person says another thing. It's like, what is the truth? Do I need to do free shipping to be successful as an eBay seller? Are there certain categories that it's a good idea to do free shipping? Other categories, what's the deal? Like, what do I do? The wonderful thing about eBay selling is that eBay gives us choices about our shipping policies. And that's not true on all marketplaces. There's other marketplaces, for instance, Poshmark, which is a great marketplace, but Poshmark sets the shipping price. Now you can discount it, you can offer free shipping, but basically Poshmark is setting the shipping price. And with eBay, you can do free shipping. You can charge shipping. It's up to you how much you want to charge on the shipping. There's a lot of different variables. It has also changed, in my opinion, over the past couple of years, and I'm going to bring it up, and it's because of the fact of the rising costs of postage, which as a seller, you certainly know that. It's one of our biggest expenses. The other thing is, and this changed, think about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, of zone pricing for first class. If you're not aware of this, several years ago, first class was the same, and first class being under £1 was the same no matter where you shipped in the United States. So I'm in New York City. So that way, if I shipped first class 6 ounces to California, all the way out to the other coast, it was the same as 6 ounces to New Jersey or Connecticut, which are close to me. Well, the post office got smart about that and they changed it. So priority mail has always had, as far as I know, zone pricing, not the flat rate, regular priority. So again, if I would do priority within New York or New Jersey, which is nearby, it would be one zone, right? Or several zones. And then if I did priority again out to California or Arizona or New Mexico, it would be more for the same weight, which is why it's very handy to know your flat rate prices. So doing free shipping was a very different world, shall we say, several years ago than it is now. And the reason I was thinking about this, and I wanted to bring it up as a topic for eBay sellers to think about, is I actually caught this, and this was for Amazon Fresh of all things. And it got me thinking about free shipping for eBay sellers. So let me just pull this up. So this is a recent happening for Amazon Fresh. So if you don't know, Amazon offers its Prime subscribers grocery delivery. And this is in major cities. So you can get Amazon Fresh delivery. For instance, I'm in New York. You can get Amazon Fresh delivery here and other major cities in the United States. And what it is if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you have access to Amazon Fresh, which is their delivery service. And for here in New York, free delivery, of course, you tip the person, free delivery, the threshold has been $50, which isn't that bad, right? I mean, most of us can do $50 in groceries pretty easily. But, and this is the thing that caught my attention, they just upped it, and they upped it quite a bit. As of February 28th, it's going to be $150 to get free shipping. And I thought about that. I'm like, Amazon, what's going on here? So obviously one thing is if I have to have more things in the delivery, is I'm having to spend more money on the platform to get the free delivery. And that's a common practice. And we've all seen that on platforms where you have to spend $50 or $100 in order to get free delivery, which often will entice you to spend more. And the other thing is, as far as, because Amazon's paying for the couriers because it's their delivery service, they're not using USPS or UPS to deliver groceries, is the manpower cost. So it's manpower cost and it's revenue. So I thought about that for us as eBay sellers. So you may be a seller where, Kathy, I always do free shipping. And you may be a seller where you go, Kathy, I never do free shipping. And what I want to encourage you to do is revisit your shipping policy and just double check if it's the wisest thing. For instance, I was looking at a couple of categories. I was helping a seller with, it was like high-end party items, party wear. that you would wear like for weddings and for like a bar mitzvah or a christening, where where you really dress up for both men and women. And what we both noticed was there's some very large sellers in these categories, which there isn't any category, is that these large sellers that the seller had typically been looking at as competition, just sort of, to see what was the lay of the land, so to speak, were no longer doing free shipping. They were charging for shipping. So a dress that would cost, let's say like $50, $60, and it had, $8, $9, $10 shipping on it. If you wanted to return it, and they had a return policy, so you could return, but you would have to pay the return shipping. So you're talking a dress, or let's say a cummerbund or a dress jacket, that's costing you $50, $60, $10 shipping. So then to return it, let's say it's a $50 item, you're out that initial $10. So you're going to be out that whatever the seller charged you for shipping, because like you got it and it didn't fit or whatever. And you're also out the shipping cost to ship it back to you. So you're in effect, you paid, let's say like $60, then you're going to have to pay 10 to return it, brings it down to 50. You're not going to get the 10 from the shipping, brings that down to 40. And it just makes you reconsider returning things. And the other thing is, it just showed both of us, when we were looking at this, is that clearly the business model for, this was several large sellers, we saw this, was to build in the return cost. So that way the seller wasn't getting hit for the return cost, that the buyer was having to pay the return cost. So if you've been doing that, I'm not saying don't do it. If you've been doing that, it's worth it to revisit to see what your competition is up to. The other thing is, if you have always done free shipping, you're like, Kathy, I've always done free shipping, it's just not a big deal. Go back and look and see if your competition is doing free shipping. It's a good thing to look at. eBay wants us to do free shipping. Honestly, it's easier for customers with math. So free shipping is often a good way to go because it's $9.99 or $14.99 or $59.99. But take a look at things where you get returns. Because when you get a return on an item with free shipping, okay, if it is item not described, where something, if you're getting a return for an item not as described, you have to refund the entire amount, and you're going to be refunding the return shipping. And that's true in any case. If you do free returns, which eBay encourages us to do, on categories where it's very rare for you to get a return, it's not a big deal. But if you do free shipping, and if you do free returns, just be aware of the fact that when you get the item back, you are out the original shipping and you are out the amount of the free return. And you need to do your math. This is why I have my calculator on here. You need to do your math. How are you, Paula? To see if that's viable for you. Now, if it's a category you do free shipping, free returns, and you maybe get one return a year, then you're great. You're doing fine, particularly if you're a top-rated seller. Because if you're a top-rated seller and you're doing same or one business day handling, and you're doing 30-day or better with free returns, you are getting a 10% final value fee discount. So you have the ability to show up in the free shipping filter, which is on eBay. People can sort by free shipping. People can also sort by free returns. So you're giving yourself more filters to show up in. But in doing that, because sometimes, especially when you're newer, you may go, oh, this looks great. If you're newer, I would encourage you not to do free returns right off the bat. And you may not even want to do free shipping right off the bat because you sort of want to see how things go for you, okay? And then as you get more experience, take a look at doing free shipping, free returns. The only time I would take that away from my newer sellers is if you look and everybody in your category, everybody selling what you're selling is doing free shipping, then to be competitive with them, you're going to want to do that. But remember, you are still paying for the shipping because sometimes people forget that. So if you see $14.99, $19.99, $29.99 with free shipping, be sure you get out your calculator and you get an idea of what the shipping is costing you. There's a very handy way to know what your competition is up to. And eBay has given it to all sellers, not just sellers with stores. And it's in your Terapeak product research. And I want to show you this if you're not aware of it, or if you haven't used it recently. It's really, really handy. So let me just grab Terapeak for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you're going to go into your eBay Seller Hub. You're going to need to do this from a laptop or a desktop. You can do it on mobile, but if you do it on mobile, don't use the app. You're going to want to open a window, search ebay.com, and go into .com, because you're going to need to be able to get to the research tab in Seller Hub. And as far as I know, to be honest, I haven't checked recently, because I use the mobile app a lot for customer service. But let me just double check and make sure I'm not making anything up. So hang on a second. As far as I know, and somebody, if you're listening and if you know better than I do, which I love hearing feedback, let me know. But as far as I know, you need to open, if you're on mobile, open.com and go into it here. So you're in research. When you are in your research tab, you have Terapeak product research, and that's what you're looking at. And I'm going to pick something pretty broad, but you can put anything in here. So I'm just going to put plush teddy bear. I figure, you know what, let's do a pretty broad category. So plush teddy bear. And let me just show you this. Now, just quickly while we're here, over here on the right is this handy little drop down tab. And when you, let me just see if it's showing. There's a drop down tab. You can sort by last 7 days, last 30 days, last 90 days, last 6 months, last year, last 2 years. Terapeak's going back 2 years now. And then you can do custom dates. Like if I wanted to look like just at Christmas holidays, or perhaps just during Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. But I'm going to do last 30 days. Okay. And when I do last 30 days for plush teddy bear, it is showing, I'm now sorting by all categories. Now I can sort, I'm showing you all these filters, so you can filter this. I can go into other stuffed animals. I can go into bears. I can do vintage. So let's do modern, not vintage. I can do Gund. Look at this. There's lots of different, so we're going to do bears and others. Oh, no, I have to pick one. So we'll do, let's do other stuffed animals, toys, and hobbies. We're going to do that. So we're resetting, and we're going to do teddy bear plush. Here we are in bears, clothing, accessories, last 30 days. Now, realize there's a huge range on bears. So what I'm going to do is, just for you to see this, you can do new and used. New, there's 1,452. Used, there's 2,520. So let's do used. Format, look at this. This is very helpful. 651 in auction. Best offer, 721. Fixed price, 3,321. So you get an idea of how many, okay? But this is what I want you to look at, because for right now, we're talking about shipping, is look at this juicy information eBay is giving me. In teddy bears, plush, which is a very big category, but you could do this for women's clothing, and you could filter by price, okay? You can do this for sneakers. You can do this for collectibles, okay? Let's say I have wonderful bookends or Christmas ornaments. I can sort by price. Look at how few do free shipping. So interesting. Now, I would want to go here and sort, obviously, condition. I would also sort price. So if I'm planning on pricing my bear around $30, I'd probably want to look at pricing like 20 to 50. I don't want to compare my $30 bear to a $100 bear, because for a $100 bear, I might throw in free shipping, okay? But look at that. Isn't that interesting? And now, for even more help, I want to look at this. And these are the solds. Now, this is obviously a multi-quantity listing. So you've got people here that are multi-quantity sellers. but it's letting me know what they're selling for, what the price is, and whether they are doing free shipping. So yes, eBay's always encouraging us to do free shipping. But what I encourage you to do is for the category that you're selling in, and even if you sold a teddy bear a year ago, is because of the increase in postal prices. And because many websites and larger sellers, and again, you might have sold a teddy bear a year and a half ago, and everybody, all the sites, everybody was doing free shipping on teddy bears. And you will note that at holiday time, particularly at the Christmas Hanukkah season, you'll see a lot of sites, like let's say their free shipping threshold is $100. They will drop it. It'll go to 50, or it'll be everything gets free shipping. I saw that like Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday. But if you're going into a holiday period, if it's a website that sells a lot for Mother's Day or Father's Day or prom season, you know what I mean? That kind of thing is June weddings. It might be a wedding site, you know, and you're going into the June wedding season, is that all of a sudden they will change for a month or so. So if you sell in certain categories, and a lot, I realize a lot of us are variety sellers, which is great. But let's say I have a lot of wedding items, or let's say I have a lot of Valentine's items. It's worth it to keep your eye on big sites like a Macy's, like a Nordstrom's. If I'm selling outdoors things, to keep an eye on things like Bass Pro Shop, and note when they do free shipping, or if they lower their threshold, or like with the Amazon Fresh, all of a sudden they increase their threshold. Because if I've been pricing to compete with free shipping at $50 and all of a sudden they're upping it to $150, I can change. I can maybe charge a little more for my product because now I'm offering free shipping and they're not, or I can up my threshold a little bit. Okay, so maybe I was selling it for $29.99, or I had a price to $24.99. Perhaps I can up my price because of the fact that all these other sites are upping their price. So keep an eye on that. Yes, eBay encourages us to do free shipping. Why? It's easier for the shopper. I shop on eBay. I shop on eBay practically. In fact, I just bought a bracelet. I shop on eBay practically every day, and other sites. So I'm very attuned, looking at what trends I see, what people are offering, what the thresholds are. And free shipping is totally easier on the shopper. But especially in certain categories where things are heavier, like I'm in New York. I'm shipping, Paula's watching, Paula's in Texas. Let's say I have something that is 7 or 8 pounds. Typically, it is going to be much cheaper, unless I'm managing to fit it into a medium flat rate box, to ship it to New Jersey, Connecticut than it is to Texas. So typically on the heavier items, bigger items, bulkier items, get to New York City in the background, I will use calculated shipping. So I'll take the shipping out and I will do calculated shipping, even though I'm top rated. I could perhaps offer free returns if I wanted on an item I didn't think I was going to get back, to get the 10% final value fee. And because of that, by the way, and I have a YouTube on it, by the way. So if you look at the YouTube, this lowers your eBay selling fees, I explain. Because if you do free shipping, if you do free returns, the reason why that can help you as a top rated seller is you get 10% final value fee discount. And if you roll your shipping into the item cost, so it's $99.99 free shipping, $89.99 free shipping, you get that final value fee discount on the entire item. But if it is something where there's a chance it's going to come back and it's heavy and it's costing you $20, $30 to ship it, then you really want to take a look at whether it's going to be worth it for you to roll it in and do free shipping, or whether you're better off to do calculate. So always be thinking of how much it's costing you to ship, the price of the item, with the calculation, depending on where you are in the United States or the world, what the shipping costs are. Again, in the Midwest, often, you know, if I'm in like Chicago, right down the middle of the country, I might be able to do free shipping on things that those of us that are in New York or California, Eastern Seaboard, New Jersey, Connecticut, it's not wise for us to do because of the cost of shipping to the West Coast. But for somebody right down the middle of the United States, everything is pretty equidistant. So free shipping can really work well. So look at it. Be willing to re-look at it. That was another thing I wanted to bring up, is, you know, we find things that work for us and it's great. We can sort of dig our heels in and go, oh, this is really working for me. Is always be willing to re-look. You know, when people share things that are really off the wall, you know, I don't know about that. But like if you've always done free shipping, go and look. It might be more advantageous for you to do calculated. Always be willing to look. If you've always done calculated, like Kathy, I've always done calculated. I don't want to do free shipping. I get it, but be willing to look. And if you are a soup to nuts seller, every category is potentially very different. So men's clothing might be very different from women's, different from children's. Home decor, again, it can be very, very different. Bookends from things that I would put, I'm trying to think of like lamps, if you do lamps, because the lampshades and everything and how you have to pack them. Or it could be a small lamp. I have a desk lamp to the left of me, and it doesn't have a big lampshade. It's very, very different to pack that. Artificial flowers, artificial pots, wonderful garden decor, things that you put in your garden. Everything is different. The weights are different. The fragility is different. So be willing to go back and look and go, I've never tried free shipping on this. Let me try. Let me see what happens. I never get returns on this. Let me try, because I can stand out to shoppers because it makes it so much easier. And that's one last thing. If, let's say, all your competition's doing calculated, it's something you never get back. It's something that's not that heavy. Let's say it's under a pound. Why not try free shipping? It's a way to stand out. If everybody's doing one thing, this is my more intermediate advanced sellers, it can be worth it to try to do something very different because I can stand out. I'm the only one that's offering free shipping. And that can stand out to my shoppers. So always be willing to relook and go, is it time to try something new? And again, the Amazon Fresh, I'm going, if Amazon, this large multi-billion-dollar corporation, is upping their free delivery threshold, again, I'm in New York, from $50, which is what it is right now, to $150, I just go, whoa, it's time to look at free shipping, what it's working on, what perhaps I should add calculated to, or I relook and look at it and go, you know what, this is working great for me, and I stick at it. But always be willing to go back and look. And right now you want to look at, okay, what's selling now? How can I bring shoppers to my listings now? And right now is the prime Valentine's Day season. And shoppers are looking for gifts. Don't forget, people buy themselves gifts for Valentine's Day besides their loved ones, and their loved ones include their fur babies. Take a look on my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and take a look at my free Valentine's Day tips for you. And I'm going to pull that up. I thought I had it here and I don't. I've got all the Amazon windows open and everything to grab it for you. But if you go to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, you'll see my free Valentine's Day inventory tips for you. And it's pages and pages of things that sell for Valentine's Day. And if you are not aware of this, Valentine's Day is a multi-billion-dollar gifting event. It is huge, and it gets bigger every year. So it's well worth looking at it, because I find what happens with things like Valentine's Day is you'll think about things, and here's the link for my guide. So it's Valentine's Day eBay inventory you didn't know you had. What happens is I'll think about things that I like to get. So I like to get spa gifts. I love creams and I love perfumes, maybe a new top, but I might not think of, I'm trying to think of something. Let's say, my son, I'll tell you what he would love for Valentine's Day. Sneakers. He loves sneakers. You know what? For him, he loves sneakers. My grandson, I'm sure I know what he would love for Valentine's Day, is hockey gear. He loves hockey. So people, they have certain hobbies. They have things they love. They have a sport that they love, right? We've got the Super Bowl coming up in a couple of weeks. Somebody who is rooting for one of the teams in the Super Bowl, fan gear, okay? So Valentine's Day, we may think of like spa, we may think of chocolates, we may think of flowers, we might think of pretty lingerie, but it is huge. It is sporting goods. It is things for our fur babies. It is home decor of all kinds, lamps and wall hangings and pictures and picture frames to put the pictures of our loved ones in. So hop to my website, ilovetobselling.com, and grab your free copy. It's my gift to you. Valentine's Day eBay inventory you didn't know you had, because there's some goodies in those piles of unlisted inventory you might have in your home that are absolutely in demand, perfect Valentine's Day gifts. And you want to move them to the top of the pile and get them listed. Paul, oh, thank you, Paula. She says, I never miss a YouTube on your channel, Kathy. Thank you so much, Paula. On your Valentine's Day tip sheet, so much fun too. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. So grab it and be willing, when you're putting your listings up, when you're looking at listings that perhaps have been sitting there for a while and you're sort of going, what can I do to get this moving? Take a look at offering free shipping, or, because it may be advantageous, you may want to do calculated shipping. So perhaps the free shipping amount you're offering is you're factoring in that this could ship anywhere in the United States. And if you flip it to calculated, so that it's less money for the people that are near you and a little more money for people further away, boy, somebody nearby looks at it and goes, hey, what a deal, because everybody else is doing free shipping and they're charging a little more. Yours ended up being a few dollars cheaper for them, and they buy yours. So take a look at what your shipping policies are and make sure they're the best for you and your items. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye.